Okay, so everyone, let's look at good morning and let's look at the transformer equation. The transformer equation said that the ratio of the primary voltage to the secondary voltage is equal to the ratio of the number of turns of primary coil to number of turns of secondary coil. This relationship can be written in the following formula. Vp over Vs equals to Np over Ns, where P means primary, means input voltage or primary voltage. P means primary coil. P means the input one. Then Vs means the output voltage, or the secondary voltage means the secondary coil. Alright? So since they are ratio, so we can say when in Form 2 maths we learn ratio means number of the voltage for primary coil to the voltage of secondary coil. This is the ratio. Or ratio 2, we say that numbers of primary coil to the numbers of secondary coil. Then since we say that they are equal, so we can say it is Vp over Np equals to Vs over Ns. Then you might ask me, teacher, why they are different? Actually, as long as you write them in proper ratio, then it will be the same. So you also can write V and V on the same side, N and N on the same side too, left hand side and right hand side. So P and P, S and S also can be like that. V, P and S, P and S. Okay. So since we know the concept of ratio, actually we can simply rewrite them in anywhere. So I encourage you to use this method, which is we put unknown on the left hand side, on top of the left hand side, then we put the relative variable here. Okay, so what is it? So it is, let's look at the first example. This is the example from a textbook. Okay, so every time when we want to solve questions, remember the three words I, F, S. I means we write down the info first. F means we write down the formula first. S means we substitute. Alright, so now figure 6.27 shows for a 40 volts bulb connected to 200 volts power supply through power transformer. So always remember on the left hand side of the transformer, left hand side of transformer is always input. So this is the input voltage or primary voltage. On the right hand side, it will be output voltage. Alright, so since left hand side is input voltage, so this is input voltage. Then here NP would be in the primary coil. So remember this, when I say input, it is primary. When I say output, it will be secondary. Alright, so now they say, so next time when you see the sentence, if they don't give the figure, box will be an output. You imagine the lamp into your house, then it will be the bulb. And 240 volts power supply. Supply means input. So this is how we recognize which is input and which is output. Then the question says, find out the number of turns of secondary coil. I believe you can recognize this is NS. That is required for the bulb to light up at normal brightness. Okay, so first step, info. Okay, so I would like to write according to the sentence. A 40 volts bulb means this is output voltage secondary. 240 volts, it would be a primary input. Then on the figure, I can get 120 turns. Turns you want to write, can, don't want also never mind. NP, primary input. Then what is NS? Okay, what is NS? So now second, let's write the formula. Okay, for formula, I will make the ratio form first. Okay, so this is NS. Always put the unknown on top of your left-hand side. Let's look at the previous slide. Unknown on top of your left-hand side. So unknown. Then fill up the rest. Fill up the rest means, okay, you can do this. NS and NN and N. VV, VV on the same side. Then this is S. Sure, this is P. So the ratio same as S, ratio same as P. Okay, so next let's substitute. Number 1, info. Number 2, formula. Number 3, substitute. Okay, then NS, NP will be 120. VS will be 40. VP will be 240. Okay, once you have done, then you can just bring the 120 up, just cross multiply. So NS equals to 40 over 240 times 120. Then just press your calculator, you can get the answer lah. Okay, or if you want, you can simplify them. 20 turns. Alright. You can pause here to watch how is the steps done. Okay, so always remember step 1, info. Jot down the info, and then you must recognize what are the what are the variables represented. Then write the formula. Always write unknown on top of the left-hand side. Unknown on top of left-hand side. Then we put N on the same side V on the same side. Then since this is S, next would be P. We only got two, and P or S. P means input, S means output, primary, secondary. Alright, then next, once we substitute, then solve it by using linear equation. Just multiply, cross multiply up. Then you will get the answer. Then press calculator, then you will get the answer. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Let's get into the next questions. Okay, figure 1b shows circuit diagram of the transformer in the mobile phone charger. Okay, so next, calculate the number of turns in primary coil. Number of turns in primary coil means input lah. So let's recognize this is input voltage, VP. This is NP. So left hand side would be input for the diagram. Input for the diagram. Then output for the diagram on left hand side would be NS. So 5A would be VS. So this is primary input voltage and secondary up voltage. Right, then calculate number of turns for primary coil means NP equals to, don't know. So info. Step 1, info. Let's write VP 240 volts. NP, don't know, leave it as a question mark. And S, don't forget to write the variable, it's 10. VS is 5. So next, number 2, let's write the formula. Okay, always put the unknown on top of left hand side, so NP. So NNVV, PS, PS. Then number 3, substitute, or we can just say subs. NP divided by NS, 10. NS is 10 equals to VP, 240, and VS, 5. Then what we need to do next? Yes, cross multiply. So NP equals to 240 divided by 5 times 10. Then what should we do? Press calculator. Or if you want, you can simplify. 515, answer 480 volts. Okay, something wrong somewhere. Oh, sorry. My unit wrong. It's turns. This teacher. Number is turns, number of turns, not voltage. Alright, so B. Is the transformer mobile phone step up or step down? Answer is step down. Is a step-down transformer. Why you say so? You can explain into number one, voltage decreases, or you can say numbers decreases. So we say output voltage is decreased. Or we say number of turns of secondary turns is lesser than primary coils, right? So this is how we explain step up or step down. You can see first number of turns for secondary lesser down, or you can see the voltage 240 to 5 also lesser down, so step down, right? So done. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's look at the next questions. Based on the diagram above, determine the output voltage. So the same thing in 4. This is VP. This is NP. This is NS. Sorry, the wrong question. The question is wrong. So VS. What is output voltage? Now VP 12 volts, NP 15 turns, NS 300 turns. VS is don't know. So number 2 formula. Remember, on top of the left hand side, always put the unknown VS and VV and N. Since this is VS, this is VP, SP, the ratio. Right, then next substitute. VS still VS, VP 12, NS 300, NS 300, NP 15. So next what to do? Cross multiply. So VS equals to 300 divided by 15 times 12. Okay, use calculator, just press 300 divided by 15 times 12. Or you can simplify 240 volts. Answer D. Alright. So after the 3 questions, I believe that you can solve already the rest. VP, NP, and SVS. You must recognize the info first. The formula on top of the left-hand side, always put unknown, then substitute the rest. Cross multiply, press calculator. Then congratulations, you get the answer. Let's try this. Please try it on your test pad. Try it on your test pad first. Okay. For the 3 questions, try it on your test pad first. Alright, so done. You can pause it and then try it on your test pad first. Alright, so let's continue. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the primary and secondary coil of a transformer each have 600 and 1800 numbers of turns. Primary coil is connected to the supply of 230 volts AC. What is the voltage output of the transformer? So From here we can recognize output. What is? We want this. Output voltage means V, P or S? Yeah, S. So the primary and secondary coil of transformer each have 600. Primary and secondary. So primary 600, secondary 1800. So we also can say P 600 and S 1800. The primary coil is connected to this V 230 volts. V, since this is S, of course, supply means primary. So first our info. NP is 600 and S is 1800. VP is 230. VS is, don't know, formula. Always put the unknown on top of your left hand side. Then V, V, N, SP, SP. VS, VS, VP 230, NS 1800, and P is 600. So VS equals to, cross multiply, these are 1800 divided by 600 times 230. So what we will get, you can press calculator or you can just simplify. So answer would be 690 volts. Okay, from here we also can see primary to secondary increase. So primary voltage is 230, means it will increase to 690. Alright, so now have confidence. Info from questions, you need to translate. Into the symbol form. Then write formula, unknown on top of the left hand side. Then substitute. Then solve it by calculator. Okay, that's it. So please try these 4 questions first. Then use a test pad. Write your working for question 3, question 4, question 5. Okay, so for these 3 questions, question 3, you can pause. Question 4, pause, write on the test pad. And questions 5, write on the test pad. So example 1, this is example 1. Example 1, example 2, and this is example 3. So question 1, example 3, then question 2, question 3. Okay, you can copy this and jot down. Then question 4, copy this and info formula substitute calculator. Question 5, also the same thing. Info formula substitute, then solve it by calculator. So that's all for today. So thank you, class. I want to see your homework hands in GC. Okay, thank you, class. Okay, bye-bye.